I'm not here to teach you what to think. I'm here to teach you how to think. Welcome to the Frank Guide to Speed Dating. I'm Frank B. Kermit. I'm going to start off by telling you a little story. I went to a speed dating event. It was one of the first ones I had ever gone to. The previous ones that I went to were a horrible experience. I walked in, they had a guest speaker, and the guest speaker didn't do anything except talk about all the reasons that people want to stay out of relationships. And it put such a downer on me because it reminded me of all the mistakes I had made, all the things that I had been hurt from, that when it came time to go around and talk to all the girls there, I was not in a very good headspace, and I left early. However, I had seen news articles on the topic of speed dating. Usually they were run by religious groups that were trying to encourage people of a certain religion to meet other singles within that religion. The idea was to bring people together, have each of them talk for no more than 7 minutes apiece, and then move on to the next person until everybody met everybody within the span of less than 2 hours. And they talked about how great and wonderful it was. So I decided to give it another shot. The next speed dating event I went to was actually held by a much more reputable company. Their guest speaker at the beginning was a stand-up comedian, put everybody in a good mood before we started to speed date. And it's at this event that I happened to meet someone who really became one of the best girlfriends I ever had in my life. I would honestly say that if people believe in the concept of having more than one soulmate, I met one of my soulmates at that event. And everything hinged on our conversation. In speed dating, you only have about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the company that you're at. So I'm going to give you now the question that I believe solidified my relationship with that woman. Here's that question. If life was a banana split, what part of the banana split would you be and why? I remember when I came up with this question, I come up with it during the day. I even told a coworker, yeah, I'm going to a speed dating event and I'm planning to ask this question. I had been studying seduction for quite some time and I spent quite a bit of energy trying to come up with a question that would keep the conversation in a seductive mode. My coworker had said, that's a stupid question. You're just wasting your time with that. But I figured, hey, I'm going in there, and if it turns out just to be one big experiment that doesn't work out, I'll still learn something. Now, why would I pick something like that kind of a question to go into? After all, I was paying to be there, so why would I use it to ask a very silly question? Well, I had been studying seduction for quite some time. Here's what I believe. I truly believe that these type of questions will teach me more about a person than any sort of basic questions such as, so what do you do? Where are you from? Do you like to travel? I wanted to get to the heart of who these people were, and I wanted to prepare my own answers that would best exemplify who I was. So at this point in the lecture, I'm going to ask a couple of the people here in the room to share with me what their answer would be to that question. If life was a banana split, what part of the banana split would you be and why? Do I have a volunteer? Okay, I got one volunteer. So, sir, here's the question for you. If life was a banana split, what part of the banana split would you be and why?
I think I would be the banana because it's the center of the banana split, and I believe I'm the center of my life.
Very good answer. Okay, let's have another volunteer. Okay, we have another volunteer. Sir, if life was a banana split, what part of the banana split would you be and why?
Oh, I would be the kid with the spoon.
Okay, why?
Because life is something to me that I consume, something I take, something that I control, and something that I like.
All right. I'm going to give you what my answer was. I would be the cherry because I'm all about being on top. And everything I do, I'm always on top. Now, in the answers that we have just gotten, I have learned things about you that I never probably would have encountered if we simply had a normal conversation in the span of 5 to 7 minutes. You all have just learned something about me, in terms of my personality, in terms of the way I live, in terms of the way I think, that you might not have picked up on in simply a 5 or 10 minute normal conversation. These are the types of questions that you need to be asking when you're speed dating. You only have 5 to 7 minutes with any one person. So if you get in there and you sit down and you say, "Hi, my name is Frank, how are you doing?" and you get her name, that's great. And then what? You're going to go through the normal conversation modes? No, you don't have time. Stay away from the regular topics. Go right in there and pick some sort of a question that allows you to figure out her personality type. So I'm going to give you a few more examples here. If life was a barnyard, what creature around the barnyard would you be, and why? If life was a vegetable garden, what vegetable would you be, and why? If life was a petting zoo, what element in the petting zoo would you be, and why? If life was a Scrabble game, what word would you be, and why? Okay, a question that was asked that did not get on tape was about the if life was question. And what we had concluded off tape, and I'm just going to give you all a summary here. The structure of if life was a blank, what part of the blank would you be? What makes that work is that you are leading a visualization. See, if you just turn to the person and say, "What kind of a dessert would you be?" You're forcing that person to think, and that's not very appealing.